and welcome to the first ever 18th episode of the No Man's Sky Explorers podcast. My name is Ryan.
And I'm Joelle, the one deemed not good enough to do the introduction for this week.
This is true.
And here with us is... Oh, wait, he's not here.
Dylan isn't here for this episode, guys. And that's when everyone turns it off. It says, well, this will be pointless.
The decrease in viewers now. But hey.
We have a lot to talk about.
Well, finally, I'll get to talk maybe just marginally more now.
A little bit more. Yeah, so Dylan couldn't make it tonight. He sent me a message to send you guys. Let me see what it says exactly. He says, tell the podcast I love all of them and want to kiss all their stupid little faces. So yeah, that's what you get from him today. What a jerk. Okay, so he won't be able to be in the podcast today, but we got lots.
Really? We haven't already gone over that like 4 times?
I'm bad at this, guys. God. I'm bad at this. We have lots to talk about, though, so we're just going to jump right in. First of all, I want to thank everybody on our Patreon account that's helping us out. You guys are awesome, helping us out for doing this. I don't know what's... You're crazy. Also...
The good kind.
And also really nice. Thank you for that. Mm-hmm. Also, just a quick shout out to TheGurns, our what would you call him?
Buddy.
Our buddy. He's our buddy. He's a Twitch streamer, and he does a fantastic job. You guys should check him out. He's in the link in the description. You should check him out. He does so much streaming. There's so much content there, you could never get bored.
He could be our buddy with benefits. We shout him out, and he shouts us out.
He already does that.
I know, that's why. He's our buddy with benefits.
He's our buddy with benefits. He's a really nice guy. Anyway, we're going to have lots of questions today, so thank you guys for that. Well, actually, less questions, more just... We grabbed a couple things from the discussion page and YouTube comments, but there's so much to talk about news-wise that we're just going to talk about that pretty much the whole time, so there's only a couple things there. But thank you guys for being so responsive on the discussion page. It's like, I was trying to go back to the point of when the game came out, so I could see some of the early things that people said, and I spent about 10 minutes scrolling down, refreshing, and I couldn't get there. So I was like, screw it. I'm just going to grab a couple things and we'll talk news. So you guys are very active on there, and thank you for being such a positive community for the game. It's been a lot of fun. And we're almost to 750 subs on YouTube, but I just wanted to shout out 700 at least that we hit. I'm sure we'll be hitting more soon as the game keeps building up, and we actually have episodes that have meaning, unlike the last one, which was fun, but it wasn't really much of an episode. So
I'd say that was one of the best because it was the day it came out. I mean,
wow, Joelle's really smart.
If you hear strangling noises, don't worry. Don't call the police. It's all good.
I set up the mic so we're really far away from each other, so
I can still hit him if I throw really hard.
But yeah, so thanks for that. That's awesome, guys. But yeah, let's jump right in. Joelle, do you want to grab this first one here?
Sure. Our first one here is from Martin Saxo. After listening for over 3 weeks, I always imagined Ryan as a guy with glasses and a beard, and Dial Tone as a black guy.
That's him watching the video podcast last week.
Okay, well, fun fact, Ryan can't grow much of a beard. It is a very attractive trait to me.
I also can't graduate college, so.
Another attractive trait. I just have to be better than you in every way.
You pretty much are, so.
And, I've never thought of Dylan as a black guy.
Well, obviously, since we've, known him.
But... I can't see it even with... I can't. I love it, though. Dial Tone. All right, Ryan, your
Best
turn.
name ever. And Justin Pope says, new experimental update today. I can run the game as is without loading screen crashes. So happy.
Woo!
So the PC version came out 3 days later, and I'd say about 50% of people, it seems like, are having problems getting on. There is an experimental patch out today. If you guys want to try that out, it seems to be helping a lot of people getting into the game. So give that a try. Just trying to spread the word so you guys can finally get into the game, because I know the PC version has been having some problems. I've had no problems with it, weirdly.
PC Master Race, specifically us.
Yeah, I've been playing it, and it's running really, really smooth, so weird. But yeah, hopefully I think they fixed some other things in there too, so you guys should check that out. I'm just going to wait for the full patch to come out before I touch it. Do you want to grab this next one?
Sure, from Brandon Says. Okay, my coworker just now. No Man's Sky is not that good. Me. Maybe, but it's all I think about.
This is the dilemma right now that we're having, where there's been this huge... This is something we've dealt with since the beginning of even starting this podcast, where it seems very apparent that people really like to hate this game before it came out, even now since it's out. People are loving hating it. It's just a great time.
Well, the number one issue seems to be nobody researches the game. It's
Yeah.
like, why are you buying it without knowing the first thing about it?
My favorite thing is when they say it's overhyped, and like I'm like, oh yeah, okay. It's exactly what they said it was going to be, so I don't know what you mean by that.
Tell me about that new Call of Duty and how that's not overhyped yet. Jeez. Sorry for all you who like that.
This is the dilemma I'm having, because even when I got my early copy and I was playing before the game came out, people were asking me my impressions to kind of like solidify their sale of the game, like they were going to buy it. They're like, they just wanted to make sure it was good. And I was like, yes, get it. Like, it's so good. Like, right now, I would give it probably a perfect score because I'm having so much fun just playing the early copy.
Here's another thing people don't realize. It's okay to have different tastes in video games.
And that's okay, too.
You don't, just because it might not be your kind of game, does not mean it's a bad game in any way.
And this is what happens. Like, I'm playing it. I'm having so much fun. The game comes out. I play it more. I'm having so much fun. 5 days go by, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should look up the reviews. Because I've been having so much fun, I barely went on the internet. The only place I've been in is the discussion page. And I'm just like, I haven't even been able to, like, I literally, when I get up in the morning, I play it. I go to work, I come home, I play it. I go to sleep, I wake up, I play it again.
You missed it where you stream for 3 hours every night.
Yeah, I did that for a little bit, too. Because the game is so much fun. Oh, my God. So then all of a sudden I looked at the reviews, and they're mixed. And I'm like, what? Why?
Mixed on what sites?
Metacritic. I don't know exactly what it's at right now, but it's in the yellow.
What are Steam's results? Have you looked at
Steam is like 50% right now.
Ooh, really?
Mostly because a lot of people are having problems getting on, which really sucks because I was really hoping to use Steam as a more stable review platform because it's all user reviews.
That's the thing. With the major, we'll get into that later, I guess.
Well, that's the nice thing about Steam is that now they have more recent reviews as well in there. Mm-hmm. So it'll give you an average of the recent reviews compared to the older reviews and stuff like that. So after a couple of weeks, I'm hoping to see some, once the game is a little bit more fixed, which I hear the experimental patch is doing a great job, but because a lot of people are getting crashes on startup. But this is my issue with like the whole review dilemma and people not liking it thing is like I literally was having so much fun with it that by the time I like saw that it was getting some bad reviews, I'm like, wait, why? Like, I'm confused. I've spent so much time playing it, it didn't make any sense. And then like people were complaining, like saying like this is a flaw, like this is a gameplay problem, and I'm like, I thought it was a good decision. And I was getting really confused.
This is personally offending him.
It is.
I'm sure he's taking it harder than Sean is, honestly.
I'm gonna sound like a serious fanboy this whole podcast, which is fine. I'm okay with it. You guys can call me whatever you want. And just to like point out how bad the hate is for like people jump on that hate wagon so fast. I just took a look at our iTunes reviews, and we've gotten multiple 1-star reviews since the game come out just saying this game is bad, so this podcast is bad.
What?
People went out of their way to find us on iTunes to give us a bad star review because they don't like the game that they probably didn't play.
Oh my god, some people are massive.
Like, that's how bad it is. That's how bad people want to hate this game. It's insane. So, and that's one of our first 1-star reviews out of those. And I was like, wow, okay, so people really want to hate it.
Wow, that is pathetically sad. For you 1-star reviewer, you are a sad human being. I am so sorry for you.
I'm like, okay.
If you actually had constructive criticism for us, I could respect you. But that's just a dick move.
Yeah, tell me about
it. Sorry, not to sound
now
mean
since
there.
Joelle can talk, you're going to realize how angry she gets.
It's not angry. I realized I didn't use the bathroom before the podcast, and now I have to pee, and I'm going to be here for an hour.
And then Dylan was waiting to play the PC version until the 12th. And by the way...
Same here, by the way.
The day the game came out, we did the live stream, and then right after that, Dylan played for an hour on a live stream, which I'll try to upload soon.
Oh, that wasn't uploaded?
I haven't uploaded yet.
Slacking.
But Dylan he played for an hour on the stream, and then the game crashed. A severe issue, which we will address. Was nothing really to address. The game does crash quite a bit. I've done some workarounds, but anyway, it's not the point. Dylan was like, he played for the hour, then the game crashed, then he turned it right back on, and he stayed for another 3 hours and kept playing the game.
Ryan was like a kid at his birthday party who his friends were playing with his gifts, and
I'm like, Dylan, I want to freaking play my game.
He's all moody. He didn't come to bed till like 4 or 5 that morning or something.
I had to stay up till 2 to wait for Dylan to get off.
Yeah, I bailed before that.
And then he's like, oh my god, this game is so good, Ryan. I just want to play it. And Dylan, like...
It was cute.
He's definitely more subjective than I am when it comes to stuff. Like, and he was just enjoying it so much. So, like, right before the 12th, Dylan texted me. He's like, are you still having fun with the game? Because I'm seeing all these like negative reviews, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't know anything about that. I'm having like a ton of fun. And he's like, oh, okay, good. So he didn't worry about it, but it was interesting that he had to like text me to make sure the game was still fun.
Oh, Dylan.
But yeah.
Do we want to get back on track with our questions, comments thingy? Because I think we just went on a really random sidetrack there.
Okay, go up to, do you want to do Cody Anderson?
Yes, Mr. Cody Anderson. I don't know about you folks, but I just can't bring myself to warp without at least briefly checking out every planet in a system.
First off, I should say this podcast is officially going to have a lot of spoilers in it, so if you're going to be listening,
I don't know what else you expected on.
At this point, there's nothing we can do. There's going to be spoilers. Just warning you now. Okay, so I have the same dilemma as Cody here. I've been trying to get closer to the center, and I've been like, I even did a live stream where I spent an hour just warping. I like grinded a bunch for warp cells, and then during the live stream, I just warped again and again and again. And
he could barely do it. He was so. He's like, oh, that planet looks so cool. It looks just like the last 3 I passed.
Oh, I gotta look at it.
I need to go on there just quickly.
It is. You always feel like you're gonna miss something, you know, because there's some really cool things you can find. So yeah, every time I warp, I want to stop at some planets every single time. Right now, I'm on a really nice planet. Right now, I'm really enjoying it. So.
I just gotta remember, if you stop at every single one, you're gonna be about 80 by the time you get to the center of the galaxy.
This is my problem. I've gotten almost 20,000 light years closer, which is not a lot. After like 40, 50 hours of gameplay.
We got to see Science Dad on Sunday, and...
Yes, he was having a lot of fun.
Oh my god,
he hasn't even left his first solar system yet.
About it. He was so excited.
Yeah, he's scanning like every plant and animal and like everything, and he refuses to like leave his first system.
I know, it's pretty thorough.
Mm-hmm. Sorry for the pauses, I'm drinking a lot of water.
Yeah, even my little brother, who primarily likes Call of Duty, FIFA, that NBA thing, any sports game, and just kind of games where I'm like, I can't be related to you kind of feeling. Even he's liking it. He's been playing No Man's Sky. This really isn't his kind of game, but it's nice to see that he's even enjoying it.
So yeah, I have the exact same problem, Cody. I want to stay at every system and experience like everything the system has to offer, because I always see like something new every time I'm somewhere, so... I'll grab Corey Roper here. He says, I've come to the conclusion that if you don't like this game, it's probably because you suck at critical thinking. Kind of harsh, Corey.
Sometimes the truth hurts.
So there's a couple sides. There's a couple sides of the stick here. There are people
Wait, what term did you just use? Couple sides?
Sides of the stick. Is that a term? I made that up. You guys, history in the making right now. There are a couple sides of the stick here. Shut up! You're gonna laugh. Come on. I'm so
sorry. A couple sides. If that turns out to be real, I will. Oh man.
Are you done?
I'm gonna die after this. Sorry. I'm going to die.
So there's people that absolutely hate this game. I mean, like, what is your problem?
Sorry, it's just.
Are you having a heart attack?
It's so cute.
This is what we're doing the rest of the podcast, guys.
I'm crying.
Are we ready?
Yep.
Okay. So, there seems to be people that absolutely, truly hate this game from from their soul. Like, they hate it. Like, they want it to burn in hell. Like, they really, really, really hate it.
Where does that hatred come from?
I don't know.
It's not like Hello Games cheated on you and then had some other man's baby.
It's insane. The people that hate this game truly hate this game, and I don't understand it. But there are those people. There are the people that, excuse me, that play it and say, oh, maybe this game isn't for me, and they seem to have a more mixed feeling about it, which that I can get. Like, I know the game is not for everybody. Mm-hmm. It definitely was made to be for a particular type of person, and it's a niche title. Niche? I
think it's niche.
I think it's niche. So I don't expect everyone to like it. I expect people to at least appreciate what it is. That's the problem.
You can dislike while still appreciating.
Yes. It's like I get what Call of Duty is, and I could get why people like it. I think it's stupid, but I get why people like it. But it's not for me. Like, I'm not into competitive gaming. Like, I'm not that kind of person, especially that type of competitive gaming.
That's me with any kind of sports game out there. It's like, it looks exactly the same as the year before, but with slightly minimally enhanced graphics. But okay, you go for it.
Right. So, I mean, we can still understand why people like it. We don't like it, and we can still be douches about it. But
Yes, you have to look at the technical performance of the game. You
Right.
can't just judge only on your preference. I mean, the game itself holds up fairly well. There are some issues.
we'll talk about them more of those later.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
so yeah, I just like the pure hatred. I don't understand, and I think most of those games people probably haven't played the game, to be honest. Mm-hmm. And it seems that way. Like there's some people, and I stay away from here, but on the actual No Man's Sky subreddit, which is incredibly toxic right now. Every other post is explaining everything that everybody hates about the game, like every other post. And if you go through, like, this game doesn't have this, and this game doesn't have this, it becomes abundantly clear that these people have not played the game for more than, like, 3 hours.
Or have the most basic concept of what it's about.
Yes, because, like, you will go through their lists, and it's like, oh, that is in the game, though, and that is in the game.
And it's like, people are like, well, where's the base building and defending planets with your friends? It's like, that is the polar opposite of the game.
Well, when was this game ever...
Where did you get this
When was this game ever advertised that way?
Yeah, like, it's like, gosh.
Oh, man. We'll talk more about our like, experiences that we've had with the game and stuff like that in a little bit. But, yeah, this game is not a game that holds your hand in any way. I mean,
really
it doesn't tell you
doesn't.
anything, but every once in a while it pops a little tutorial up, like, press this button to do this. That's pretty much it. And, like... There is, like, a storyline that you can follow and stuff like that, believe it or not. I don't even think there's going to be anything close to that, but there is. And it's very interesting and very cool. But, like, the hand-holding, there is none. So don't expect it.
It doesn't waste your time with any of that junk, thank God.
The most frustrating thing, and now since I've had some time, I have read a couple of reviews, and I think it was specifically GameStop that said, oh, the first 5 hours was absolutely atrocious. Like, I hated it for the first 5 hours.
GameStop?
GameStop did a review. Not GameStop. I'm sorry. Game
Informer?
No. Crap.
And now he's going to his phone to figure this out.
I really should know this if I'm going to say it. GameSpot.
Oh.
Sorry. Okay, so GameSpot said the beginning of the game were like atrocious, and they actually hated the beginning. And I had the exact opposite feeling. They're like, oh, it's like, I don't know how to do this, and I don't know how to do this. I'm like, yeah, but that's the fun of it. You're learning it, and it's fun to learn it.
It's like there's only so many buttons on the controller.
My issue with this, and I hate this comparison, and I'm gonna use it just for this way though. Minecraft, okay. A lot of people that are unjustly comparing this game to Minecraft,
you are right now.
I will go to their level and I'll compare it, because if they're gonna use that comparison in a bad way, I'm gonna use it in a good way, okay. If we're gonna compare this game to Minecraft does zero hand holding, and when it first came out 1.0, no tutorials. Nothing, and people still love that game, and it's still averaged about a 9 out of 10 on, like, Metacritic, and I feel like for some reason No Man's Sky is not given the same appreciation as Minecraft got.
I don't know. I can't understand exactly why people are in this mindset.
Minecraft was a new concept, and people appreciated that. No Man's Sky being a new concept, it's like the complete opposite. Like, people don't appreciate it.
Do you think perhaps we become too dependent on games to hold our hands and deliver the known versus trying to branch out and, actually make people think and comprehend what they're doing in that game?
Yeah, because this game, I had to think, and I feel like I'm a pretty good gamer when it comes to most games.
He's extremely good at that type of stuff. He learns very fast.
And I was having a lot of troubles, like, figuring out how the game works, but, like, I wasn't angry about it. I was like, I need to study, I need to, like, literally take notes to understand how some of this stuff works. And that was okay with me. It was part of the fun of the process. Like, the game doesn't have to do that for me. Games never used to do that way back in the day when they still were sold for $60 and were only, like, 30-minute experiences, and they didn't tell you anything.
And if you're like me and you suck at figuring that stuff out, well, this is no different than every other game in that sense. You're still confused.
Right, but it's a little frustrating.
Anyway, on to our last comment. Do you want me to do it?
I have a cough, by the way. I'm drinking water as much as I can.
I don't think anyone knows the cough.
Shut up.
Not at all. This one comes from Andy Nevins. Ho ho. I can't see how this game has gotten so many bad reviews and ratings on a bunch of gaming sites. No Man's Sky is one of the most amazing games I have ever played. And this is coming from someone who mainly plays sports and first-person shooter games.
Pretty much what you said earlier.
I was going to say.
Yeah, and so this is... you have to make your own opinions. And this is my problem with like all this hate that's coming towards the game. It's obviously from people that are just Googling things and then like feel like they need to hate it.
And don't take a game so personally.
Oh my God.
You have a life besides judging video games, I hope.
It's depressing.
It's
But yeah, you should make your own opinion. And I'm so happy I played a lot of this game before I knew anything about reviews. Because I feel like people start making opinions by the reviews and they start believing those opinions just because they read them. You know what I mean? Like, they talk about, like, inventory space being a pain in the ass. And, like, but that gets better the more you play it.
Have we never heard of, storage upgrades?
Yeah. Like, the more you play it, and this is probably one of the earlier things you'll get, you'll be able to max out your inventory and you'll have plenty of space for everything. I have so much space I barely know what to do with it except for a couple
And from the early copy Ryan and I played, this is so much better with space already. What was it you could stack to before? 25?
You could stack to 100 before. Now you can stack to 250, and you can stack to 500 in your ship.
Okay, you see, so already like mountains better there.
Yeah.
It was so hard the first day, or the first copy we had. It was just, could barely store anything.
Like, I've seen reviews that say like, oh, the inventory management is just straight up bad game design. I'm like, what?
It's no different than anything
It's progression.
else
And then I've had other reviews say there's no progression. I'm like, that is a part of progression. Upgrading is a part of
Maybe
it.
people can't handle not seeing results for more than a few hours.
Yeah, the game, okay, and this is a game you have to spend a lot of time in to really, truly understand. I should preface that as well. If you've never played the game and you're planning on playing it, spend some time with it because it will grow on you the more you play it. Because there are things you don't know about until you get further in that kind of change the way you look at the game and kind of make it more interesting as well. So I recommend if you are skeptical, you should at least put in 5 to 10 hours, which might seem like a lot for a video game, but it's worth it. Like, it's a good experience. And there's lots of cool things that happen.
And even if you don't like it, you'll still come to appreciate what it is.
Right. Anyway, so now since we've gone through some comments here, we have a lot of different newsy type things to discuss, also just discussion topics. First things we want to talk about here are our reaction and experience with the game.
We'll start with you, Ryan.
I've had nothing but a good experience.
In case you haven't gathered that yet.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a couple bad... We'll talk about that a little bit too. Personally, at this point, if I were to just like straight up rate it, even though I'm not done with the game yet, at this point that I'm at right now, not saying this is ever final, because I think we will have an episode where we review the game, I would give it like a 9 out of 10 right now. And the only reason I wouldn't give it a 10 is because of some bugs, glitches, things like that. But like the way I look at it game design wise and just the fresh ideas that have been put into this game, I would give it a 9 out of 10. And I'm almost like ready to give it a 10 just because I'm thinking about playing it right now. Like, I want to go play it more. Even before we started the podcast, I'm like, I really don't want to do the podcast because I just want to play the game more. So
it's hard to drag him away.
So, yeah, that's kind of my experience so far. I've also seen some cool things. I was surprised. There's lots of good surprises in this game that I was not expecting to be in the game. Also, some surprises from the development team of things that are going to be in the game soon.
Do I get to do mine or?
Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were continuing
I was just
to the
about
next.
finishing up yet.
Okay, I didn't know. Here, you can finish yours then. I wasn't sure if you were skipping to a new part or.
No, I was just saying, like, they've already said that they're working on the next content patch, and it's going to include base building, and you can buy freighters later on.
Freighters part is cool. Base building, that'll be interesting to see how they pull.
I'm hoping they do it how we talked about on the podcast before.
Pre-made structure kind of things.
I'm assuming that's how you do it.
I hope so too. It would be weird if it's too Minecrafty.
Right. We'll see. I think either they'll find a good way to do it. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I've had so little time this last week to get on. I haven't left my first solar system yet either, unfortunately and embarrassingly. Gosh, I'm trying to collect my thoughts on what to say. Oh god, this is awkward. There's pressure. There's so much pressure. Ryan's staring at me like he's a million people. Well, I guess if I had to give the game a rating, I'd probably go with Ryan's, like, 9 out of 10. The bugs that are currently in it with the crashes, to me, that's a huge thing to have in the game, kind of. Sure. It's just kind of like, it's like, oh no, why? Come on, guys, seriously. So, it doesn't affect my, like...
To be fair, you haven't had any of those issues yet.
No, thank God, not me. But, watching Ryan crash over and over and over again, it's just kind of like, oh man, again?
But I got a system now.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, it's been very impressive so far. I love the planets and just I don't know, there's just something very lovely about it.
So pretty.
It's more than pretty. It's just, it flows. Everything feels like it flows together on that planet.
I think
that's purposely done.
They perfected the art.
Yes, they really did. It just, the best thing, those sexy animal noises. That came out so wrong. Oh my god.
Wow.
No. I'm just.
Joelle loves sexy animal noises, just so you guys know. I'm waiting for all the comments. Moo.
Oh gosh. No. Do sheep noises. They're better. No, like, just how the noises are, the whole process behind making them. When you hear it, it sounds like it should come from that creature. It seems so natural. It's just like, oh my god, how does that all work together to do that? It's just
Right.
like, it just like blows my mind. It's like, oh my god, yes, make more sound so I can hear you and, figure it out. And it's mind blowing. I love the sounds in this game and the music. Oh my goodness.
Well, we're about to talk about highs and lows. Let's do that next.
My bad there.
So, what are our personal highs and lows for our experience? Did you want to start with that?
I was
You're
gonna
pretty
say,
much already on it.
I just listed a bunch of mine there. Yeah, why don't you go there? I think I just listed my
let's start with
ones.
lows. I think the most obvious low are bugs.
The crashes.
And crashing. Definitely crashing. That's a huge low.
You did encounter one big kind of, how do I put it, like kind of glitch, possibly?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Basically, Ryan's on this one planet, and there's a bunch of big carnivore, like, dinosaurs there, right? And they're all coming at Ryan, so he jumps on top of these large pillar-like rocks. Well, when they get too close to the rock, they clip onto the top for a few seconds and manage to attack him.
Yeah, so that's like...
To me, it's just kind of like, dude, what?
Yeah, it's a good example of kind of an annoying bug. Also, the waypoint system is just completely screwed up. You haven't gotten far enough, obviously, to see that, but, like, I can't find Atlas stations anymore, even if I, like, set them as a waypoint. Like, I can't find them anymore.
Certain ship landings clip really weird, kind of, like, it's like, why is my ship that awkwardly diagonal?
Waypoints in space sometimes aren't even set up to go to stars. Like, it's just set up to go to open space. And I'm like, I can't go there, so... Yeah, just some weird bugs like that, and the crashing is like the most serious point, which I will give you guys some hints on that or some tips. If you guys want to avoid crashing, first off, save your damn game before you hyperspace. Please save your game, and this is the easiest way to save your game is just to get out of your ship, get back in it. Right as soon as you get out, it'll save it.
It seems pretty simple to do.
I've noticed that every single time I do that before I jump, it doesn't crash. I don't know if it's because of a certain parameter or something in the game.
Maybe it resets something?
Right. And every time I save it right before I jump, it does not crash. Every single time.
But if he's been jumping over and over, all of a sudden you hear, I should save scene before it crashes.
Yes.
And then you hear the ding noise that it crashed.
Yes. So,
Great.
And it's frustrating, I know, but they're going to be coming with a patch in a little bit here. And I hear that the experimental patch that's on Steam is doing a really good job of fixing these issues, and it's going to be coming to PS4 as well. So expect that to be fixed in a little while here.
Oh, thank God for Steam.
Yeah. So people are testing out the patch right now. They're saying good things. It's not quite done yet, but they are saying good things. So that's my big low.
I think the same lows as everyone else.
Yeah, it's very, very frustrating to lose data or things you did, especially when, and this happened to me on a live stream actually, I was trying to do 100% a planet by scanning all the different life on it, and I was like one species away, and the game crashed on me. So I lost all that progress.
That was hilarious.
Because I had not gone into my ship the entire time, which sucks. So that's a big low, and I will definitely, I won't be a fanboy about that. There's no excuses for that. They should really fix it. It's a problem. But when it comes to highs, a couple huge things that struck me right away, especially when I started playing the early copy, and I was really getting engrossed in the experience, is sound design is just completely spot on. It's incredible. And since I flunked out of college...
Okay, you say that, I'm going to come over there and get you.
I didn't flunk out of college, but...
I never said you flunked out. I said you dropped out.
Everybody thinks I did. Anyway...
I'm sorry they ran away with that comment.
Anyway, when I was in school for music, I did a sound design course as well. And just understanding how it's made and stuff, the sound design that they've made for that game is truly incredible. Like, it sounds so good. Play the game with headphones or at least a nice speaker system because it sounds incredible. And second note of sound is the soundtrack. Fantastic. I downloaded the soundtrack as well. I got it on Spotify. The soundtrack is exactly what I wanted the soundtrack to be. It sounds so good. Key moments where the soundtrack really swells up. And then the procedural part of the soundtrack sounds really good as well. you'd be surprised how many cool moments you'll have with a soundtrack that wasn't even directly written to sound the way it is for the procedural parts of it. It's really incredible. And then the parts where they do actually use soundtrack bits, like those parts are even cooler because and this happens, you haven't even gone far enough to see this yet. But there will be parts in the storyline where like there'll be huge like songs from the soundtrack that come in, and it sounds so good, and it's like perfect for these key moments. So, what are you giving me that look for?
I'm not giving you any weird look. I'm just thinking.
Okay. Anyway, so 2 big highs for me. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna die. I'm trying to think of one that directly stands out. I mean, the planets in general, and this is like something, and I'll just specify one. Dead moons are the coolest thing ever, like low atmosphere moons. You can see the whole solar system, you can see the planets, you can see everything, and it's just gorgeous. This game is absolutely beautiful. It's definitely not photorealistic, but for what they did with the art style and everything, it looks incredible. Mm-hmm. And I'm commending them for that because it looks so good. It's the perfect game for the most beautiful screenshots. Basically, wallpaper generator, 2016. So just buy it for that one reason, and it's fantastic. Do you have anything?
I think I really did get all my kind of high points out. I don't know what it is. There's something about the language that I love.
That's a really fun mechanic.
Yes, not something I can pinpoint what I like about it. It's fun, and interacting with the different alien species. It's neat. I've already, formed my own preference on who I like the best.
Right.
I'm sure Ryan does too.
Eh.
Really? You know?
I kind of like the Korvax, but I kind of hate them at the same time.
I really love the Korvax because most of my interactions with them have been like, they kind of treat me like, oh, this one's so dumb. Here you go. Good luck.
The Viking are fun too because you can always know what the best response is. Like, do the douchiest thing and they'll like you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of nice, but and the Gek are like cool, but then you like read some of the stuff at their like monoliths, and you're like, wait, I can't tell if they're completely creepy or like really cool.
They are kind of like little frog creatures, so creepy.
Yeah, but like all their lore is weird.
What did you expect?
All right, so let's go on to community highs and lows. So when we say community, we mean kind of the whole No Man's Sky community, and kind of reviews in general and stuff like that.
Well, as we kind of mentioned earlier, and with the Steam things, it seems to be kind of very split what people think. Either love or hate. There doesn't seem to be a middle ground with this.
Yeah, it's not often you see somebody say, oh yeah, I appreciated it. No, it's always, I absolutely freaking hate that game, super overhyped, worst game ever, or like, I love this game, it's incredible. I
saw people who were or read comments on 9gag of people who were trying to get refunds for returning their games.
Oh, goodness.
After 5 hours of playing.
How much you want to bet that they aren't even, like, getting refunds? They're just saying that they're getting refunds.
Oh, they were just trying to. I don't know if they actually succeeded.
They probly weren't even trying. They were just trying to make a statement.
It's like are you that dumb? Please, tell me.
Yeah, I don't even, oh, God. People are stupid. Can we just say that right away? People are very stupid. For anybody who feels cheated by this game, I'm sorry you didn't do any research on the game. And there is like a point where like I almost understand you because I realize that there's a lot of built up hype for this game, where probably somebody told you that this is the best game ever and you should buy it as soon as it comes out. But you're still responsible for your own financial decisions, So if you were going to buy that game, you should have done some research to realize it wasn't the game for you. Mm-hmm. Like that's not Sean Murray's fault that you didn't know what the game was.
It's your fault for not being individual enough to see if you would like something, to think that your opinion must go with the majority.
Because
like seriously.
I think it hits everything it was supposed to hit perfectly on the head.
It doesn't lack what the creator said it was going to. It doesn't, yeah.
And we're even at this point, a week after launch, we're still finding new things. I'm still finding new gameplay features hidden in there. And we'll talk about those a little bit more later when I start talking about some gameplay features. But like every day something surprises me. And then all of a sudden I'll look at a YouTube channel and I'm like, wait, what? That's in the game? I haven't found that yet. And I've been to 60 different planets. What the heck? No, I'm sorry, 60 different solar systems. So I've been to more than that for planets.
What was it you were saying you haven't found yet? Extreme
I've
planets?
never been to an extreme weathered planet, which I guess people are finding all over the place, which is frustrating. Well, not frustrating like in a bad way. Like it's cool that I haven't found one and everybody else has, but it's like I really want to find one.
It's called envy.
Exactly. And I haven't found any purple materials except for calcium. Like an animal randomly pooped out
Oh,
calcium
yeah,
on
and
me
then
once.
the game crash on you right after.
And then the game crashed on me after that. So really, I haven't now.
Oh, beautiful.
So like this game is constantly throwing surprises my way, like as I'm playing it, no matter how far I get. So I think they completely nailed it. It's like exactly what they promised. So I don't get why people hate the game so much sometimes, but whatever. I don't get it, honey.
I don't understand the ignorance and blind hatred for something that's your fault. I mean, it's like, oh hey, I look stupid, so I should hate this thing instead and make myself look more stupid. It doesn't. I don't know where the fatal flaw is in it.
I don't get it either.
I don't.
You can call the game boring and repetitive all you want until you actually play it and realize that it's a whole lot of fun. So.
And you know what? You can play the game and not care for it either. That is okay. But you can't say it's the worst thing in the world without having reasons why it's actually the worst thing in the world. I mean, I've played games, some games are pretty unfinished and bad, but I still loved them even like that. So, you know, it's like...
Yeah, and she's weird like that.
I do. I like that weird type of unfinishedness to them.
But yeah, for people that are on the fence, make your own opinion. Like, don't base it off of somebody else. Like, because then you're gonna have these predefined things in your head. Like, this is gonna be like this. Oh, I bet you this will be repetitive. Oh, I bet you this will be like this. And that's, I think, the problem. People are going in like with a negative viewpoint instead of just playing the game from scratch, like we did right on launch, and just having so much fun with it that we didn't even look online for like 5 days.
Yeah.
You know, like you just got to have fun with it. You got to enjoy it for what it is because it's incredible. It's an incredible experience. And it's only going to get better. I mean, so many free updates coming up. Like, I'm so excited for the things they're going to add to the game.
You can't pass up free stuff.
You can't. So, what would we like to see for the future of the game? You want to start with this?
I can attempt to. What I would like to see for the future. Well, in the very near future here, just get the kinks worked out, you know.
Please.
Don't pull a Pokemon Go where you do all this, you know, random stuff, but you still can't track where you're going, and now all of a sudden there's grass. I mean, you know, just to fix the issues that are there, which I think Hello Games is smart enough to do, obviously.
Right.
In the far future, gosh, I think they could really put anything in it that they wanted, you know. I think the big freighters is something I really wanted. Base building will be cool for endgame. I'm just trying to think here. What would I like to see for the future? You go for a bit. Let me see if I think of anything else. Ooh, capes and lots of cosmetics. Joking. I don't know why.
So there's a couple really specific things that I'd like.
Oh boy.
Being able to move around your technologies easier in your inventory would be nice. So you could organize it better since there are proximity bonuses for them. So it'd be nice if you could like pay a fee to move it maybe or something instead of them all being stuck, especially when you have to randomly buy new ships and you don't know where everything's going to be. Also, I'd like to be able to transfer technology to a new ship that I buy. That is so frustrating. Like I have the best hyperdrive. There's no way I'm going to find another ship with the best hyperdrive. Like that's not going to happen. And so like I don't want to have to rebuild my hyperdrive that it took me like 4 hours of grinding to get. So that would be nice. Some way to pay like an extra fee at least or something to get that transferred. Stackable trade commodities would be nice. Make everything stackable, like even...
Well, that would be nice.
That would be really nice. Other than that, I don't really have too many complaints of things I'd like to see in the future.
I'd like to just see them go creative.
What do you mean?
Hello Games, just, you know, add things that they think would be cool.
Right, and they already have ideas. They're already talked about stuff that they're adding a new cloud generator in the next patch as well. So the clouds look cooler. And they've already talked about adding freighters and base building and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see. I think that they already have a lot of ideas in their head that they're going to be working towards. So I'm just excited to see what they'll add because I think they have a pretty good idea of what is good for their game. So, what are our future plans inside our games?
Oh, man.
I just want to get to the center of the galaxy. I'm so
I know,
far
right?
away.
Like, I feel almost underwhelming saying that, but that does seem to be the goal.
Yeah, this is
I'd
my
really like
problem.
to understand all the languages. I think that would
Yes,
be a
that's a
huge
good goal.
accomplishment.
Yeah, my big goal right now is probably languages, getting closer to the center of the galaxy because, oh my god, is it far away.
Yeah.
I don't know how anybody's gotten even close to the center so far. What else do I want to do? Oh, I want to get to some extreme temperatured planets. Still haven't gotten any of those, especially so I can get the achievement, or the trophy for that. I also want to buy a better ship, but I really don't want to because I can't transfer my technology, so we'll see what I do with that.
Yeah, he's been very stubborn about that.
Yeah, I've had the same ship since, like, almost the beginning of the game. I don't know. Other than that, I just want to explore more worlds and 100% more. That's one big thing. I'm trying to get, like, the full trophy for that exploring, and I've only 100% of one planet so far, so I really want to focus on doing that. But yeah. Did you already say yours?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to go into a couple things for you guys to help you out if you either haven't played the game yet or have played it and you just are looking for some tips and tricks. I'm going to give you a couple here that I've encountered just as I played here. First off, and I'm actually going to switch the order around here. There are star types. My favorite thing is on the subreddit when they said, they promised us that different stars would have different planets around them, and that's not how the game works. Well, obviously, I haven't played the game very long because that's exactly how the game works. But yeah, there are different star colors, and the colors are like rarity kind of. So like,
and they depend on your kind of drive to get to them.
Right. So yellow stars are the ones you can go to right away. Those are the only ones you can go to at the beginning. And then if you upgrade, and I'll explain the upgrade system here first. There's the regular version of a technology, then there's Sigma, Tau, Theta, and there may or may not be Omega. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far. But basically, being able to go to these more rare systems, you could say, or more difficult systems, you require a better hyperdrive. So you start out on yellow systems. If you get your Sigma hyperdrive, you can then go to red systems, which basically will have more rare materials in them, lusher planets, harder sentinels, and yeah, that's basically it. So like, you get cooler planets too, the more difficult systems you go into, which is really awesome. And then after that, if you get a Tau hyperdrive, you can go to green stars, which is the same thing, harder, more rare stuff, lusher planets again. And then blue, being the final hardest one to get to, requires a Theta hyperdrive. And yeah, basically it's just rare materials. And then this kind of brings me to my next topic, is rare materials that you can find on the ground. There are multiple different types of rare materials you can just find laying around. They usually show up green when you scan. Sometimes they don't show up at all when you scan, so keep an eye out for them. One of them, I don't know their names really. There's basically these orbs on the ground you can find. They show up green when you do a local scan. And each one of these rare materials usually sell for about 35,000 units. And so you can just pick up a whole bunch of them and then go sell them and make between $500,000 to $1 million, depending on your inventory space, which is really nice for like 15 minutes of grinding. And there's basically these orbs on the ground. There's these clams you can find that you can open, and they have rare materials inside them. There are those Korvax cube things that you can find, which don't usually show up on local scans. You have to just pick them up. They're usually pretty obvious, though. And then there's other types. But yeah, just keep an eye out for those on different types of planets, usually the more rare planets, because they're worth tons of money. And then watch out inside galactic marketplaces where sometimes they ask for more rare things, or like they'll give you double for certain things. So every once in a while you'll hit one that gives you double for a certain material that happens to be super common on the planet right next to the space station, and you'll just be making bank going back and forth. So let me take a look here. And generally hyperdrive upgrades are kind of random where you get it. I usually got them from aliens when I talked to them, and I'd like completed, because when you first talk to them, they have something you have to kind of basically complete. And I usually, when I successfully beat those, every once in a while, they'll give me a blueprint for a better
He
hyperdrive.
generally chooses the wrong things.
Generally, I do. And the last thing for tips and tricks is just faster movement. When you guys are on planets, you can move faster by meleeing. Well, first run, melee, and then jump right after you melee, and you can like jetpack across areas way faster. I don't know if it's going to be in the game by next week, but it's really nice.
It doesn't seem like it could be high on the list to fix. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully not. But yeah.
Ooh, something I think would be cool. Being able to eventually mount creatures on a planet, not being able to take them with you or anything, but if you find a creature that's large enough to carry you, use that for faster speed. and travel. I don't know, just a little thing there. I just thought that sounded really fun to just be like, oh, hey, there's a cool, six-legged T-Rex. I'm going to ride you to the other side of the planet now.
Yeah, and I would like to see the whole pet mechanic be a little more defined, because it seems like it doesn't really work the way I was kind of expecting it to.
I don't have any issue with it, honestly.
I don't have an issue with it. It's just like, it's kind of confusing. Like, you feed them stuff, and then I guess they dig stuff up for you and follow you around or poop stuff out.
But
sometimes they defend you.
But what more do you need? I mean, they're not coming with you. They can't leave the planet, as far as we're aware. So
it'd be nice to have a little doggy seat right next to you.
Oh God, you're weird. I'm ashamed.
So yeah, basically, and yeah, also the PC version was delayed a couple days right before it came out, so they could make it better, which didn't really help much, obviously. Which kind of sucks, but.
Yeah, well, what can you do?
Is there another big topic you want to talk about? We haven't gone very long.
How long have we been gone?
Maybe 30 to 45 minutes.
Oh, really? That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
And you were trying to rush me, too.
I was just trying to keep you on track. Man, this is what happens when Dylan's not here. We lose, like, half of the, wasted time.
Yeah, Dylan normally fills up all the extra time with memes.
I don't get to, move things along, or I don't get the moment to speak. To move things along fast, or I have to wait for Dylan to be quiet and then Ryan to be quiet.
And on the topic of like people hating the game, the fun thing is
and we're back again.
And we're back. When I live stream this game, there are always random people that show up, other than people from the discussion page and stuff, that are like, "So is this game good?" Like that's always the question that gets asked every time. People are really
why
torn.
Don't you watch?
Like, here's the issue: people are really torn about this game. And they're like seeing all this negative stuff, but they're like, the game looks so much fun. Why is it getting so many negative? I think that's the problem.
Why don't people just watch some gameplay?
That's what they're doing. That's why they're like randomly showing up on my Twitch feed and stuff. And they're like, so is this game good? What's your opinion? Like they're trying to figure out if the game is actually good. Cause it's like, seems like there's this hate culture around it. Like just hate it cause it's bad.
Anything's good if you like it.
Yeah. And I'm trying to tell people like, if you think it looks fun, then you should play it.
Or at least,
if you think that the ideas of the game are good and you would enjoy that type of game, you will enjoy this game because it delivers on all those things. So, like, if you enjoy being Han Solo and...
Han Solo.
Oh, dang. Body with a body.
One of my biggest male crushes right there is Harrison Ford.
Drooling over there.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a thing for the older man.
And then I've also had people like randomly show up on my Twitch feed that are just like, wow, worst game ever. Why are you here?
Yes, why do you have to go out of your way to
go away? No one wants you here.
I'm assuming most of these people who aren't doing that are not women, right?
This one specifically said she was a woman.
Really?
Yeah, she said, I'm a 40-year-old woman, and I made my opinion about this game, and that it's bad. She had to specifically say all those things.
I was going to say, I'm assuming mostly it's guys are doing this, but you're acting like high school girls. Going out of your way to hate. Okay, apparently with the exception of this one very sad 40-year-old woman.
Who knows? Maybe they're lying. I don't know. Yeah, but, like, it's just, I don't, just...
If you're gonna lie, why don't you say that you're some hot babe from the Bahamas who needs, like, $2,000 to buy plane tickets to come visit.
But yeah, I mean, for anybody that's skeptical, just look at what the game is, and if you think that looks fun, then buy it because it is fun.
And even if you don't think it looks fun, then
don't buy it.
Don't buy it. Don't buy it. And
if it is not your type of game,
keep your
do
opinion
not buy it.
On
and for the record, this game is 8 million times better than Elite Dangerous. Just wanted to say that right away.
I haven't heard any of the cussing fits from Ryan that Elite Dangerous brought on often.
I like
bad.
Look, when you're going through all these hate comments, you always say Elite Dangerous is better, and that's for Xbox, and that's better than PS4. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not really that fun.
I got Ryan here, who was a hardcore supporter of Xbox all his life to change over to PS4. I did it. And it's funny, because all of his family was super Xbox, and now most of them are changing over to the PS4. They're getting smart. They're evolving.
Okay, so, like, if you want to compare No Man's Sky and Elite Dangerous, there's this beautiful thing you can do, right? So No Man's Sky has mixed reviews on Steam right now. That being said, because a lot of people can't play it right now.
Which is understandable to be... If I didn't know much about the game, and I bought a game, and all of a sudden it's like not letting me play it, and I spent $60 on it, I'd probably leave a really bad review. Right,
that makes sense. That is justified. Yes. I get that. But then if you go to the Elite Dangerous page, you'll see also mixed reviews, but that game is playable. I don't think there's anything wrong with Elite Dangerous. It's just they're so different. They are so different.
It's hyper-realistic versus sci-fi, kind
Yes.
of, you know, it's just like...
Sci-fi is just more fun to play.
You couldn't get two more opposite spectrums of, you know, space games in that sense. It's, you know... Do you want to explore various planets, find unique animal stuff no one's ever seen? Or do you want to spend, you know, like, hours getting across the galaxy only to be killed by pirates?
My favorite thing is when people say, oh, Star Citizen is going to be so much better. The same people that are saying No Man's Sky was an overhyped mess are saying that Star Citizen is going to be better. A literal overhyped mess.
Is that not overhyping right there? I mean, what does Star Citizen have to show for itself too much at the moment, even to
Well... Oh my
besides
goodness.
a list of features.
If you want to know how fantastic Star Citizen is going to be, go to their Kickstarter page and look at all the things they're going to be adding to the game.
You know, it's not to bash on the idea or anything. There's just so much. It's like
there's no uniformity in any of the ideas that they have.
Yeah, it's like it's not even going to be a coherent game at the end of it. It's going to be like everything everyone wants. It's going to be like cramming The Sims, and Call of Duty, and...
They've been working on that game for a couple years, and now they're finally going to have
together.
their first procedural generated planet to showcase at the end of the year.
Ooh.
Guys, you're behind. We have an entirely procedurally generated galaxy in No Man's Sky right now. Or universe, I should say.
Well, we don't know.
No, I'm positive. It's a universe. Oh, man. I love that game so much. I've been having so much fun.
Yes, I know, dear.
I'm like, I can't stop thinking about it. Like, right now, I want to go play it because I'm on this really cool poison planet that has this... So when you, like, land on the planet, it tells you stats about the planet, and it has generous fauna. And so, like, everywhere you go, there's just tons of creatures flying around in flocks, and it's fun. I'm
telling him, you know, get ready for dinner. Are we actually going to watch anything on TV for dinner right now? Because we rarely ever do. And he's like, oh, I just have to get this bird. And we spend like 10 minutes watching him fail at scanning the bird, shoot down the bird, lose the bird's corpse. A storm comes. He shoots down the second bird and finally scans the damn critter.
Oh, it's just, the game's... You also be prepared for kind of a chill game, too. Like, it's not super intense.
Which is nice.
Which is really nice for me. And this is coming from a guy who's kind of at the point in his life where he's slowing down, you could say. And, like, I don't look for, like... extreme excitement in video games anymore. I look for fun experiences.
A game you can keep going back to.
Yes, a game that I can continuously go back to. No Man's Sky, and like obviously any game gets boring after you do really, really long play sessions. When I'm done playing No Man's Sky for like 5 hours and I go do something else, I realize that I want to play it again. Like I'm like, I need to just stop playing for a little bit. And then like 30 minutes later, I'm like, why am I not still playing? I need to go play again. I have all these fun things I want to do. And it's that type of game. You're constantly like addicted to it. Like it's like you freaking crack. You want to find this, or you want to do that, or you want to find this point of interest, or you realize that you want to work towards this upgrade or whatever. And like for people that say the game has no progression, like you obviously haven't played the game because there are tons of progression in this game.
Yeah.
And that's kind of really addictive to me. It's progressing and stuff like that. And I like kind of the grindiness of it too.
You kind of have to like grinding to some extent.
There is a decent chunk of grinding in this game. Well, if you want there to be grinding, you could say.
I'd say even just this kind of jumping to planet thing can come off as a slight grind, and that, you know.
It could, yeah.
It's, you know, vaguely fly, land, gather, kind of.
That's the general gameplay
That's the very
loop,
general
you could say.
I can get where that feels possibly a little grindy in that sense.
Right.
But I mean, when you look at the small details of it, it's like nothing's alike.
Except when you land on a planet to go get materials and you're like, I don't ever want to leave this planet because I want to learn more about it. And then that's kind of the addictiveness of the game, is that you're constantly like falling in love with these planets that you have to leave.
What
eventually.
planet am I going to see next? It's like the gamble of,
I'm still like that. I still haven't found an extreme planet with extreme temperatures, so I'm like, you never know what you're going to find. So I'm like, I got to land on this planet because I don't know if that's going to be the one, you know, like, so, and now since I can go to blue stars for like every star, there's a higher chance that I'll find more extreme planets or lush planets. And I've seen some absolutely beautiful planets. You guys should go on the discussion page and check out the screenshots and everything. There are some beautiful, beautiful planets in that game, including like, especially the low atmosphere moons, being able to see like the solar system clearly. And it's just, the game is so freaking gorgeous, and that stupid soundtrack is so good. This is where I die. I've had a cough for like 3 weeks.
You're dying, whatever.
But yeah, you guys should watch out for that Steam patch. It should be coming out soon officially, hopefully. It is in the experimental stage. You guys should try it out because I hear A lot of people are having a lot more luck getting the game running properly with that. Also, I recommend if you're playing PC and you do have the game running and you've made it into the game, to go over and change the max FPS from 30 to max, so that there's no capping of your FPS or anything like that. Should make the game run a lot smoother for you, and then you can adjust it. And also, I recommend running it in borderless window mode as well. Might run a little better. I do that for streaming anyway. But yeah, it also, like, the game crashes normally if you, like, Alt-Tab out of it. So if you go borderless window, you won't have any problems with that, and it generally runs better. So I recommend doing that as well for basic PC fixes. But yeah, I'm running like 60, 90 FPS playing the game right now, and I have a 1070, and I'm not having any problems. But probably because I have a 1070 and it's a newer graphics card. And
he has to show it off.
I have to show it off, guys. And the game seems to run a lot better on newer software or hardware. But they're working on making it work for some older stuff too. So, what else do you want to talk about?
I don't know.
I've been so busy playing No Man's Sky, I haven't even thought about like discussion topics for the podcast.
Well, you know, maybe this will just be a short episode. We're lacking Dylan tonight. You obviously want to get back to the game.
I do. I want to play.
I'm sure everyone else wants to get back to the game after.
Do we want to talk
this.
a little bit of spoilers, maybe?
About. This entire thing's been technically spoilers.
I want to talk about a theory that I have.
Go for it.
That seems like it's basically not a theory, but set in stone at this point from where the lore is going. All right, so full spoilers for the storyline here. I haven't gotten that far, but if you guys haven't played the storyline so far, you should not listen past this, because there's going to be spoilers. So there seems to be, and I'm loving the lore and everything so far, so if you take the Atlas path and you go to Atlas stations and stuff like that, you'll kind of learn little
tidbits,
thank you, of information that the Atlas kind of tells you or trickles in, or your character kind of says through his exposition. And I'm pretty much under the impression that the Atlas creates galaxies. And then I don't know where you come from. I do think that the main player is human right now, because I feel like he relates most to humanity whenever he's like monologuing through things, because there's a lot of text you can read in the game from your character, and it seems very human, like the things he's referring to.
Or maybe you're a superhuman robot.
Of course.
Sorry.
And like I've been to a monolith before where it's like he's saying how he can like see his family like through or like memories that like have once been forgotten, like through this weird thing through the portal. And then like if you decide to go through, the Atlas basically is like, nope, just kidding, it was a test to see if you would be willing to do the journey to go to the center of the galaxy or whatever. But basically my theory is that the Atlas creates these galaxies, and that they aren't necessarily real, in that they're actually basically almost like a computer simulation of the Atlas's thoughts, sort of. And the reason I say this is because there are like, when you go meet with those two science dudes, when you go to the anomalies, they say things like, this world doesn't seem real. Because they're like, you meet these two guys, and I know you haven't gotten this far yet, that do research on the universe, and they're saying how you need to go to the center of the galaxy to figure out why things are wrong. Like, because they're saying they're doing this research, and like, it doesn't make sense that there's only this many elements, or it doesn't make sense that things are spread across the galaxy the way they are. It doesn't make sense that aliens are set up the way they are. Like, why does every single solar system have some sort of alien life in it? It doesn't make sense. And so they're saying that it's be that way because we might be living in some sort of simulation that was created by the Atlas. So that's what I think is going on. I haven't gotten that far yet, closer to the center, but I'm getting excited because it looks like it's getting real good. I'm really liking the lore so far. So I recommend you guys go the Atlas path and learn a little bit more, because I've also seen this, like every time you go to an Atlas station, there's a different like thing of the Atlas there. Like it looks different every time. Well, this one time I went, I found just like a giant light, and I saw each one of the three races.
Oh yeah, that one was cool.
Like lifted into the air. It was really weird.
Maybe the Atlas is everything.
It could be.
Maybe it's the planets themselves and the animals.
Oh my gosh. Whoa, mind blown, man. Seriously though. I really like the lore. And this is the most frustrating thing. when people are hating the game and they're like, well, it doesn't make any sense that this is like this and this is like this. It's like, yeah, but that's a part of the lore. And I'm trying not to spoil that for too many people, that there's a reason why things are the way they are. But they're like, well, this is stupid and this doesn't make sense. It's like, so play the game and you'll realize that things get explained the further in you go. Like,
is that not a new? I mean, books. Hello.
yes. The same people that love Dark Souls and the way their lore is represented don't like the way this lore is represented, which is in a very similar fashion where you read item descriptions and you only get little snippets here and there, but you start piecing things together. It's the same thing. Dark Souls is even way more vague about it than No Man's Sky is.
Yeah.
And people love that, but if No Man's Sky does it, it's just lazy, I guess.
Maybe there's something they need to feel about hating themselves in the process.
If you don't like No Man's Sky, you hate yourself. Ha ha.
No. I meant Dark Souls, how you die so much you hate yourself.
It teaches you to hate yourself.
Yeah, you need that constant put down in your life to like the game.
Oh, that's good. Those games are fun. But yeah, okay, so overall experience so far, I have a new addiction in my life, for sure. I'm having a ton of fun. Hoping they fix those bugs and stuff soon, which I'm sure they will. And altogether, I think the game completely delivers on what they're going for. I haven't gotten to the center of the galaxy or anything yet, but that's like let's say what's at the center of the galaxy is complete garbage, and like it's terrible. Like it doesn't matter because it's like the journey. The journey is what matters, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what is making this game for me, is that my journey and like the things I remember, the things I found along the way. Like, I have so many of those moments you can tell your friends about. Like, oh my gosh, this happened to me the other day while I was playing No Man's Sky. That's what this game is all about, experiences.
We'll never forget that little animal that pooped out calcium for you.
No,
right
I'll never forget.
You never will.
First time I found an exotic material. It poops out of an animal. That's an important moment.
It is.
And it's fun because everyone's experiences is different via the procedural generation. Everyone's experiencing different planets, different animals, different plant life, everything. And also, we never even talked about the procedural generation. How are you liking it?
The procedural generation? Mm-hmm. In what aspect? Like everything?
Overall.
I'm enjoying it. I feel like everything, it's like I said earlier, if it's smoothly, it feels like it's all connected.
Right.
And nothing feels really out of place.
Right.
Everything is kind of unique when you look at it. It's like, I could totally see that being here. It's like,
right.
Some things feel so in place you don't even think about it.
Right. That is true. Like, I get so used to the way the animals and everything look that I don't realize, like, to look at the details and everything. Because I'm like, oh, they just fit. They fit the area.
Yeah, it's like oh, that's cool. That should be there.
And I feel like people mistake that for it all looking the same.
Yeah.
They mistake it for that because everything fits where they are and what they're with.
Things don't pop out and shine. There's not a shiny Pokemon over there for you to block at, I mean, if everything's shiny Pokemon, nothing's a shiny Pokemon.
But if you take the time, and this game is all about taking the time to enjoy it, I feel like. This is a game for patient people, especially.
People who actually want to get something out of a game,
right.
Like a commitment to the game, It's not, 20 hours and you're done.
Yeah, and if you take your time and you go and look at those creatures and you experience what they sound like, what they do, you realize how unique each one of them really are. And how cool they look.
And that just leads you back to having to have an appreciation for what Hello Games has done.
Yes, for such a small team, they have...
Yeah.
And this is...
like, you can't begin to criticize them on things you think the game should be that they never said it was gonna be. It's like, you don't realize how big of a butt you're coming off as.
A butt.
There's a lot of other words I'd use, but I'm not allowed to say those words on here.
Yeah. I was going to say something else just a second ago. I forgot what it was. Dang it. I screwed up my train of thought.
Oh, yes, goal accomplished.
This is why I interrupt her, because if I don't say things right away, I lose it.
It's so nice, considering this happens to me all the time, because you interrupt me, and wow, this feels great on this side. No wonder people do this. All right, I think we should be wrapping up. So
No.
I think we're stretching it.
No, we're not. I actually have more things to talk about.
You do?
Yeah, I want to talk about the procedural generation more.
Oh, okay.
Oh, by the way, freaking nailed it on an older podcast when I said that most likely the aliens would look the same generally, but they'd still be procedurally generated.
Yep, they have the little different features here and there. Some like Gek don't look anything like each other. Honest to God, you're like, or the Vakin. Am I saying that?
I think that's what
I'm not sure if I said.
I think they're supposed to sound like Viking.
And the Korvax, they generally just kind of look the same.
They look so cool. No, they don't. They look so cool.
They're all helmeted in that
Yeah,
sense.
but all their helmets look so cool.
That's true.
You haven't seen enough of them yet.
I guess not.
So, yeah, and also, like, oh, my goodness. The worlds are freaking gorgeous. especially like if you're having a hard time right now because all your planets are ugly, in your opinion, are ugly, even though I think they all have their own merit. The lush planets are out there. I'm telling you this now. Like once you experience your first lush planet, you're like, holy crap. When I experienced my first, I was just like, this is so pretty.
Even cooler than lush planets, I love the planets you find that look almost Earth-like.
Yeah, that too.
There's been a few snowy ones I've seen Ryan on that, the atmosphere is kind of a bluish green. There's snow on everything, so you can't see a bunch of weird color. It almost looks like you're on Earth, and it's just, to me, that's so cool and surreal feeling. It's like, whoa, this is weird.
Bro, what's real life?
It's like, whoa.
So yeah, for all you people that hate the game, I'm sorry. It's not for you. Go back to playing Call of Duty 5v5 Deathmatch.
That's not to sound mean or anything,
No, it
it's
is.
just like...
I'm very bitter.
It's like, don't be pains in the butts about it. We get that you don't like it, but...
There are so many people enjoying this game right now. So many. Like, go look at Steam stats right now. There are so many people enjoying this game right now. There's no excuse to just say it's a terrible game.
And most of these people saying this give it without any logical reason.
Yes.
If there's any reason to begin with.
There's obviously some sort of freaking hate wagon going around. Because if you, just look at Steam stats if you want to know. Also, check out, Steam was like, or No Man's Sky was one of the top selling UK games, PS4 games ever. It's broken some records already, too. So people are playing this game a lot, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. No amount of you whining will change it.
Yes, and so we're here to stay, and we're here to play the game more and more.
Eventually, all the whining will lead kind of a counter movement against that, where people are like, well, this game's so great, and then there's going to be another, the hype wagon will make its way back around again. That's how the cycle goes. We all know it.
Yeah, but just overall, we've had a really fun time. It's been really fun with the discussion group and everything, seeing everybody's creatures that they found, planets that they found, things that I wish I found. It's just a fun experience, and it's fun that everybody has their own unique experience. And the procedural generation is really excellent, and I'm glad they did it the way they did. I'm a big fan of it. I don't know why people bash it so often, but I think the entire game has been so much fun. I just want to go play it. Can I go play it?
Yes, you can.
I want to go play it. But yeah, here I'll grab our outro stuff here real quick.
Here, I'll do it.
Oh, really?
Since I have it. I've never done an outro before, so...
Okay, go for it.
Shove off. All right, so we'd like to give a big thanks to all of our Patreon supporters. Any amount of money you donate is amazing and slightly crazy. I don't feel like we do anything good enough for money, but I'm glad you guys feel that way, so thank you so much. Thanks to the Facebook page and group. You guys are crazy. I never have a morning where my phone is not blown up with a million different notifications from you. Thank you for making me feel loved, even though I don't interact on there much. But anyway, just thanks for being such a positive group as well. There's not hate on there. It's nice.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah. So
if you're gonna come to the discussion group, come there to discuss, please.
Yes.
Like, because I've had to boot some people off. So
sexy,
mostly because they're spamming the page.
I was
but
sexy, all that power.
But if you're gonna come to the discussion, if you're gonna come to the discussion group, come there to discuss. Seriously, it's a lot of fun.
Yep.
So.
And thanks to everyone who listens to us on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, and for everyone who follows us on Twitter, Twitch, Reddit, all those goodies. Big thanks to TheGurns, for just being awesome.
You are the best, man.
You really are.
I have been tuning into some of your Twitch stuff. It's been excellent. So keep doing what you're doing, man.
And just thank you to all of our listeners. You guys you're a rare bunch.
We've made it here. We've done it.
Yep.
We're playing the game that we've always wanted to play.
It's like we're all some sort of weird little family.
Yeah.
Exploring the vast galaxy together here.
Yeah, I'm hoping to finally, once we get closer to the center of the galaxy, to maybe try to find some of you guys. I had some experiences where I've gotten really close to finding people before, so I'm getting excited. But yeah, I think that pretty much does it.
Yep.
We're good to go?
Yeah, I thought of something, but it totally belonged to the beginning of our thing, and it would just make no sense to throw it in here at the end, so I'll throw it into our next thing.
Well, now I want to know what it is.
I can just tell you after this.
No, now I want to know.
Oh, I just thought of one of my other lows of the game. Not cross-platform.
Yeah, I guess the servers aren't cross-platform, which is kind of sucky.
Yeah, it's just like... I couldn't see any good reason for it. now there's 2 big galaxies with half the people to explore each one. And it's just like, what household has 2 PS4s realistically? It's like, you're not going to see that, or 2 PCs that are capable of gaming.
The real question is if we're ever even going to be able to find each other. Because there seems to be no easy way to do it.
It's sad because we'll never will now. In that sense. And it's just, that, I think even bigger than the crashes, that was my personal heartbreak on that I've already gone past. But it's just kind of like, it felt very unnecessary and unexplained. And
I agree.
Just
that is a good low.
Kind of a stab in my heart.
Aww. You gonna cry?
Yeah, probably. Anyway, back to our question here.
So we're gonna get right back into enjoying the game because that's all I want to do right now. So
after I make Ryan do a buttload of chores.
Nope. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Sorry that Dylan wasn't here. He's useless and I hate him. So
we still love you, Dylan. Don't worry.
No,
we won't disown you.
Literally,
yet.
no one loves you.
We'll just decrease your pay by half.
He's not. He's getting paid half now.
So
half of nothing.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
So thanks for dealing with us without Dylan here to entertain you. I know he's pretty much all the entertainment. So
he kind of is. I love his overreactions to most of everything.
When he just falls on the floor laughing.
and the science dad asked me later, "What was going on with Dylan? Was something wrong?" I was like, "Nope, that's just Dylan. Don't worry about him."
So thanks so much for tuning in, guys. We'll have more news and everything next week, and we'll talk about more of our experiences and your guys' experiences.
Yep.
Please, on the discussion page, I know everyone's been so caught up playing the game that they've been playing the game. But if you guys want any questions or anything to send to the podcast, leave it on the discussion page or the YouTube comments, and I will find it and we will discuss it on the next episode.
Maybe No Man's Sky should have a little warning on it when it loads like Pokemon Go does. It says, "Don't forget you have a life. Remember to pay your bills and go to work today."
Nope, I refuse. I refuse to have a life. I have a galaxy to explore. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Thanks for putting up with it.
We'll be here next week.
Yep.
Adios.
Bye.